Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at another Def Leppard box set. This one is the CD Collection Volume 1. Volume 2 is over here behind me. There's a separate review on my channel for that, and incidentally the brand new box set from Def Leppard called The Early Years is behind me, and I have a review up for that too if you're interested. This one here, CD Collection Volume 1, you can see on the spine it's starting off with the logo. The other boxes are going to fall in line. Volume 2 does sit here and starts to complete that image. Here's the back side, which shows you all the albums. And then on the spine here, you can see the individual albums with the book, and they just slide out of the case like that. So on this one, it kicks off their career. It's got On Through the Night, High and Dry, Pyromania, Hysteria, Live at the LA Forum, and the Rarities Volume 1 disc is included in here. So a little history on the band background. Formed in '77 as part of the new wave of British heavy metal. The original lineup at that time was Joe Elliott, Rick Savage, Pete Willis, Steve Clark, and Rick Allen. Now later on, Pete Willis was replaced by Phil Collen in 1982, and Steve Clark passed away after the Hysteria album and tour and was replaced by Vivian Campbell in 1992. They have released 11 studio albums in their career so far and sold more than 100 million copies worldwide. So now I want to start with the book that's in this, and we'll just slide the book out of it here. I'll show you the front cover of it there. And then inside here, it's got, some really great write-up and stuff on the band. It covers each album with information about it in here. So you'll see in the disc that there's sometimes the sleeves don't have information. There's a lot of it inside here, and there's cool write-ups about that and photos that go along with it. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff inside this, and definitely worth checking out. The other cool thing is, and the reason I wanted to start with the book is, in the back of it, it's got this disc. And it's a little 3-inch CD single. If you have never noticed it, inside your CD player, there's a 5-inch slot, but inside there's a little recess that's a 3-inch, and it will play these. And that disc that's in this, it are the 3 tracks that are from the original Def Leppard EP that came out in 1979. This was a Record Store Day exclusive that I picked up in 2017. The tracks that are on it are Right Into the Sun, The Overture, and Get Your Rocks Off. Now we move on to the first album that's part of this collection, which is the On Through the Night album here, and this one's a cool gatefold. Some of the other versions that have come out of this have just been single sleeve things, so this one's nice. Now the sleeve in this one has nothing on it, and as I said, that information's in the book, so don't worry about that aspect of this. This one was produced by Tom Allom, who's known for production with Judas Priest. The album reached 51 on the Billboard 200, and the tracks Rocks Off and Overture are re-recordings of tracks that came from this EP. So you're getting that 3-inch CD single that has the original demos of them, and then there's 2 re-recorded versions that appear on here. And ultimately the album was certified platinum. Next up is 1981's High and Dry. This one is not a gatefold, just a regular one, but it does have a sleeve that shows 2 of the band members there and another 2 of them here. Again, no info on the album, so it's in the book there. This one was produced by Robert John Mutt Lange. The first one with him, of course, he's the famous producer who did Hysteria. It's the last full album with Pete Willis. Reached number 38 on the Billboard 200. And eventually certified double platinum. It was reissued in 1984 with 2 bonus tracks. They were remixes of Me and My Wine and Bringing on the Heartbreak. You'll see those appear on the Rarities collection, as this one here is just the regular tracks, the original album tracks of it. I like that they restored it to that. Next up, we've got 1983's Pyromania. It too is not a gatefold. This one here has a weird orange sleeve or reddish colored sleeve in it. Again, no info on it. This one was produced by Robert John Mutt Lange, and Pete Willis did record rhythm guitar tracks for it before being let go. And then they brought in Phil Collen, and Phil Collen came from the rock band Girl, which had Phil Lewis from LA Guns, and if you don't know them, do check them out. I've mentioned them a few times, and they're definitely well worth it. Now, Phil Collen was brought in, he did some solos on the album. The band definitely made a move towards a more radio-friendly sound on this album here, and it was the start of that sort of culminated and peaked on Hysteria. reached #2 on the Billboard 200, and ultimately was certified diamond in the US, which is for 10 million sales. Next up we have Hysteria from 1987. Here's the back side of it. This one is a gatefold. It's got a great live shot there. And then this one has a really cool sleeve in it. You've got, your regular information here, but then on this side here, you get this great photo. And remember, this was after Rick Allen had his accident and lost his arm. So there's a cool write-up about what they were thinking and everything. First time back live performance with Rick Allen behind the kit, and they talk about it there. As I said, this was the first album with Rick Allen after his accident, and he actually suggested the title Hysteria in relation to that accident. The album's 62 minutes long, which makes it the longest album in Def Leppard's career, so far at least, and it's certified diamond as well, but it's sold 12 million copies in the US, and around the world it has sold 25 million copies. So an amazing feat for Def Leppard and for any band at that matter. So next up, we start with the rarities, the bonus stuff in this, and we've got this one here, live at the LA Forum, 1983. Now this disc was originally included in the Pyromania Deluxe Edition, and if you have that, you have this, but if you don't, since that one's out of print, this is a good way to get it. It's got Rock Rock Till You Drop, Rock Brigade, High and Dry, Another Hit and Run, Billy's Got a Gun, Mirror Mirror, Fooling, Photograph, Rock of Ages, Bringing on the Heartbreak, Switch 625, Let It Go, Wasted, and Stage Fright. The encore here is Traveling Band, which is the Creedence Clearwater Revival track. The cool thing is they've got Brian May from Queen guesting on guitar on that. It is a soundboard mix, so it's really good quality, and it's a nice recording. It's not one of those bad bootlegs or anything. And then the last disc in here is Rarities Volume 1. It's got 10 tracks on it. This one does have a sleeve with some cool stuff on it, and a collage and everything there. This one was the box set was the first time they had released the studio version of Good Morning Freedom. There was a live version that they put out from their Las Vegas residency, but here was the studio track finally. And it included also collected together singles, remixes, re-recordings, B-sides, and unreleased tracks like that. So I'll run through them. Wasted and Hello America are single versions. Then you've got that studio recording of Good Morning Freedom on here. Bringing on Heartbreak and Me and My Wine were both remixes from the 1984 reissue of High and Dry. And then you've got the Hysteria tracks, Tear It Down, I Want to Be Your Hero, Right Into the Sun, which is a re-recording of the track off of their Def Leppard EP. It was the one recording that hadn't made it onto an album. Then Ring of Fire and Release Me. So ultimately, all in all, the bottom line here is that it's really great packaging, and the remastering's really great on it, but in my opinion, the rarities are a little light. Having already released this in the deluxe edition, and a number of these B-sides that are on here, like the Hysteria ones from that deluxe edition, the only thing that remained on here was Good Morning Freedom studio track and the 3 demo tracks on that 3-inch single that is from the Def Leppard EP. So at the time when I bought it, those 4 tracks, it was worth it in my opinion, and to get the thing collected together. You'd have to make that decision today because those tracks have all now been released on other box sets, like the ones that are behind me here. But I did feel it was worthwhile at the time, and as a completist for Def Leppard, I had to have it. I hope this was informative and you learned something from it, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care and bye-bye.